What's going on? It's Nicky Smigs. This is the Growing Up Italian podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's the Growing Up Italian podcast. Today, I'm with my co-host, Rocco LaGuercio.
That's right.
Nicky,
get it right.
Get it right, Nicky.
And the one and only Nicky Smigs.
Thanks for having me.
We're live in New York. This is a part 2. We spoke before on Zoom. We spoke in person a couple of times.
Yeah.
But never behind the camera.
No, first time in the studio. First time doing a podcast in
You've
the
been in the
studio
studio a couple of times
Yeah,
now.
but we're here, man. Thanks
Chicago native.
Yeah.
Now living in New York.
Yeah, I moved here October 3rd. Loving it, honestly. Easiest transition.
So from following you on social media, you actually drove here from Chicago. Now, a lot of people don't drive Chicago to New York. People drive New York to Florida.
Right.
But Chicago, New York, I've never heard of many people do.
I mean, for one thing, like, as a comedian, I got to have a car. I got to get places. You know what I mean? So I can't not have a car here. The other thing, too, it's always been easier for me. Like, my dad drove us everywhere when we were going on vacations and stuff, like South Carolina or Florida or whatever. So those were like 15-hour, 18-hour drives. This drive, I'm just kind of, it's not that hard.
Was you scared to fly, or?
Not really. It was just, we would fly spring break and stuff like that, but if we had an opportunity to go somewhere else, like, just get in the car and go.
I hate driving, and I hate being a passenger in a car for 15 hours.
A lot of people, a lot of people
You have
say
to,
that.
Disney movies in the back?
Game Shut Boy. The hell up! Game Boy.
Honestly, it wasn't that bad. We had one of the Suburban with the screen that flipped down, and you put the disc in, and it would skip every time you hit a pothole or something like that. But no, it wasn't bad. Honestly, I will say it's a lot easier doing the highway drive when you have your grandmother's Cadillac. My grandmother.
Now, by the way, that Cadillac, how many times has it been passed down?
Only once.
Only once.
Yeah,
but it's been the family.
We had the title change. You might be.
That's why.
Yeah.
Because I saw you post on Instagram.
Yeah, my let's see, it's 2015. It's a '99 DeVille.
Car's older than some people.
Good condition.
Yeah,
create
it's
content.
Still good. It was my grandma stopped driving in 2015. I was going into senior at college. She goes, "I can't drive no more." I'm like, I think I had 67,000 miles on it. I was going to the grocery store and back, and church and back. And I'm like,
keep it clean too.
I got to take care of it.
Though.
No,
67,000?
A 16-year-old car? No, not bad at all.
Yeah.
So,
clean body.
It's a boat. It's a couch on wheels. It's the most comfortable car on the highway.
So you're clearly a Cadillac guy, not Lincoln.
That's
the biggest argument.
It's funny. My grandfather had a Lincoln. My grandmother had the DeVille.
Wow.
They went back and forth, but it's the easiest car to drive.
What made you officially decide I'm making this move? I'm moving to New York.
Since starting like the videos and stuff on TikTok and Instagram, I always had a bigger following out here. I don't know if it's because of the Italian thing or whatever it is, but for some reason I had more of a following in New York and New Jersey over Chicago.
I remember when we did a Sopranos con, a lot of people recognized you.
Yeah, and that's actually what was the factor. So I came with my buddy Matt Castellano. We went to the MobCon together. And he turned to me for that reason, which was crazy to me. People were recognizing me from online and was like, dude, I don't know what you're doing in Chicago. Like, clearly your fan base is here. Your audience is here. If you want, I got a spare bedroom. My wife, assuming she doesn't care, you could take it, get your feet wet, ease into the New York thing. I'm like, cheap rent, I'll take it. Let's give it a shot.
I feel like a reason you really hit it off with him was because he's a Bears fan. Is that true?
He is a Bears fan. I didn't really know that until...
So you moved in?
Thanks for that 7th pick, by the way.
Oh my God,
appreciate you, brother.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, right?
We stink. No, he's a good guy. Funny dude.
I see you guys like are super close, and then like on Sundays when the Bears play, you guys like have a little...
Yeah, you know what? He doesn't even get the games.
No?
No, he doesn't because...
So what do you guys sit on your iPhones and watch?
Yeah,
Red Zone? What do you got? Red Zone going on?
You gotta pay. You guys don't get the games out here. You gotta pay like the Red Zone
Yeah.
to get it. So
Well, yeah.
I can only imagine that's a tough jump, and off the top of your head, like who thinks to make a leap of faith like that? But it's great, yo. You had like what, a 2-year transition from when you first started to now. Like, bro, to be where you're at, that's pretty impressive.
I couldn't
maybe
have
less
done
than
it.
2 years,
Even less.
than
Yeah,
2
It
years.
was April 2020. I moved October 3rd, so a year and a half.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you're
remember being
right at a
scared.
year and a half.
Crazy.
Scared shitless, telling my parents, Italian parents,
That you're leaving your job.
come from middle class, like blue collar upbringings, that I was gonna quit, and they were like, "I'd be surprised you didn't do it earlier." And I was like, "Wow, all right." So let's
That's
get
a
this
blessing.
shit.
That's a
right
nice
there.
kick on the butt, you know.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
all right, go get started.
Might as well
Feed
risk
your
it
meat.
now. Better than having a regret down the road. You
For
know
sure.
What I mean? So, yeah.
Off the bat, though, what's the biggest differences from living in Chicago to living in New York, also as an Italian American?
It's just Chicago's a big city. Like, it's funny going from the biggest fish in the pond, meaning like in the Midwest, Chicago's the biggest city in that region.
Now,
And then you come to New York, and it's like Chicago's the size of Brooklyn. Like, it's the same population as Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
the same amount of people, but not like land size.
Yeah, I know, but like when you look at it, like the number of people in New York City, the 5 boroughs, then there's Jersey, then there's Connecticut. Like within a 4-hour drive from here, you can get to Boston, Philly, DC. You got all of Jersey, so there's just so many more people crammed together. Like that's definitely
that makes
the
sense.
thing.
That's
more
right.
Italians for sure.
It's definitely accurate.
What about the shopping aspect? Like, if you need a pound of prosciutto, is it easier here or is it different?
There's more delis.
Yeah,
I mean, there's more people, so it makes sense.
Because of course, as a New Yorker, is the product better? Like,
There's more. There's definitely seems to be, because there's more Italians. There's more like first, second generation. I feel like so. There's going to be more delis owned by immigrants. I'll say this: it's easier to find more authentic stuff. Like I'm talking about a 5-minute drive versus a 30-minute drive.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean there's
it's way more accessible.
because just everything's just more crammed together.
Yeah.
But
and you're in Long Island, so it's even harder there.
is it? You guys,
Yeah.
There's like less options.
Long Island compared to here, yeah,
you guys
for sure.
That makes sense.
But even we were saying before, like the cold cuts and the difference between hero and subs. Like, let's talk about that a little bit, because we were saying in New York, Boar's Head cold cuts is like pretty common. Anywhere you go, if you're going to get a half pound of ham sliced in, they have Boar's Head.
It's got to be Boar's Head,
right? Especially in the 5 boroughs, maybe upstate or wherever, you might be a little harder. But you're telling us that in Chicago, like, if a deli has Boar's Head, it's a good deli.
You know it's legit. Yeah. But like you're not expecting Boar's Head at every deli. That's what's funny. Here it's like Boar's Head seems to be the standard.
What do you do if somebody doesn't have it?
In Chicago, you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, it's advertised for sure.
Oh, it's
wow.
No, it's the sign. Like, is it assumed that every deli here's got Boar's Head
yeah.
Yeah, you would think.
without the sign?
Like, if I went into a random deli and I go, give me a ham and cheese, lettuce, tomato, mayo, and they didn't give me Boar's Head, I'd throw it at them.
That's so funny.
Right?
Not actually.
No,
but-
bro,
I know what
I
you
would feel disrespected if they didn't give me Boar's Head ham.
You're not assuming that it's Boar's Head for every deli in Chicago. Like you just take what you get. Like I don't know how many people that make a decision on what deli to go to because of Boar's Head, but it just seems like it's more frequent here. It's definitely more frequent.
It's also the higher quality meat too.
Yeah.
Boar's Head compared to like any deli brand.
There's no question that like delis, restaurants, grocery stores, markets are more competitive here than they are at home. That's
What about
one
the
of the
whole sub
differences.
thing? Like, why do you guys call it a submarine?
I didn't know what a hero was. I thought it was a name of a sandwich. I didn't know it was like a sandwich.
Oh, so you thought like a hero was just like the
I need
The
a hero.
cutlet sandwich or something. Yeah.
I just feel like I need like Nicky or JoJo Scalata. Like, what the fuck is a submarine? What are we talking about?
Fucking submarine ain't a fucking submarine, pal. Over here, it's a fucking hero. Get the fuck out of here, Frank. Get the fuck out of here.
Shout out
just
Saga.
getting
There's one of Nicky's many
vein
talents over
popping
here.
out of his head, dude. Those guys are a riot.
Yeah, man, we had a lot of good times so far in the short amount of time you've been here, especially considering like the holidays been smack in the middle of your moving process. But another thing was you told me Mott's.
Yeah.
Like you'll never hear Mutz in Chicago.
You guys, everybody says Mutz. I thought the first time I heard it was Sal Valentinetti, Sal Voice. Definitely been giving me a warm welcome here. I thought it was just him being a character.
Was it here?
Yeah, he was here.
Oh,
Well,
he's got the
everybody-
best Mutz.
You got the Mutz? You got the Everybody says Mutz. At home, I don't hear that. If they do, they're like quoting The Sopranos or something.
I'm waiting for a snobby at times to be like, it's mozzarella.
It's mozzarella. All right, take it easy.
We made like about 14 pieces of content about that.
We know that one for sure.
The pronunciation thing.
But I don't know. I guess it's kind of a lazy thing, to be honest. I don't think it's more of a New York thing.
We'll say Mott's, like versus Mutz.
Oh, Mott's Mutz?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say
because
it's a
you
Chicago
guys do
thing.
say a lot of A's a little heavier than us. You know?
Yeah, you're right. It could be just the letters, how you say the letters.
Yeah, because you guys say Italian.
Italian. Yeah, you say Italian. We say Italian.
Dad. Italian.
What the hell is that?
They're pissing me off, those Italians.
Those Italians.
My grandmother says it.
My grandmother.
Italian. Is she Italian?
Italian?
Nice Italian girl? Is she an Italian girl?
We're Italian, you know? Yeah. That's nice.
Okay, maybe you'll find yourself a nice Italian girl. Yeah.
Nice Italian.
I don't know why. I don't hear mutz at home at all. Whether it's Mott's, mozzarella, mozzarella.
As long as it's good.
No one says mutz in Chicago. At least my family doesn't.
All right.
So that's another difference.
It's funny because if you say Mott's to me, I would think you're talking about applesauce.
Oh,
sounds like a cracker.
Motts, like the brand.
Mott's.
Oh, Mott's. Yeah.
This
the
is
brand.
Mott's.
Pork and Mott's tonight. Applesauce. Yeah. No,
What about the bakeries, though? Like, you go to a bakery in New York, you got the Pignoli cookies, you got the rainbow cookies, you got the sfogliatelle,
Cannoli.
you got the tiramisu, you got the cannoli.
Everything.
Are you getting it in Chicago?
Dude, I don't know what it is. I found this out when Anthony Rodia was doing shows in Chicago. I was opening for him. His birthday weekend, his wife called me, asked me to get him rainbow cookies and Pignoli cookies, and I called like 4 bakeries on the northwest side of Chicago. They didn't have Pignoli cookies or rainbow cookies.
Oh, my God.
Neither.
So what did you do?
No. I had to call her. I was like, I'm sorry.
You went to Walmart.
Sorry, he's going to have to get Oreos.
Assorted cookies and a cake. Yeah, he's going to be getting Nutella and pretzels. No.
Oh, my God.
No, I did. I asked my dad and my grandmother after, and they said you got to go to like the old school places in the city to find rainbow and Pignoli, but everywhere here, it's a thing, right?
I mean, I think it's so common here that we as New Yorkers have arguments like who makes the best, and we can name like 10.
Meanwhile, you guys are like, who has it?
Yeah, like please.
I called 4 different places; they didn't have them. So, is it like rainbow cookies and Pignoli cookies? Is it those 2 and everything else?
Yeah,
like if you go to a bakery,
those are the king.
Cookies? Yeah,
it's those 2, and then get the assorted
we have
ones.
biscotti too, but I'm not like you can't bring biscotti to someone's house. You crack their tooth, you know.
Okay.
Pignoli, they'll be like, oh, he spent some money.
Yeah, they're expensive.
The Pignolis are expensive, bro.
Yeah, we did a video about that.
Yeah.
Cooge.
Oh, yeah.
The fuck is that?
What do you think of Meals by Koosh?
He's a riot, man.
I love him.
He's a riot. Kid's blowing up.
Give us a nice cuisine. How you doing?
Hey, Cougine, I'm over here with your fucking sister trying to eat a piece of cutlet. Get the fuck out of here. What do you think? I'm a shem because I'm eating in my car? I don't give a fuck.
She was crispy Friday night. You missed the one
fucking
jab.
chasing it down with a DC, clogging my arteries like I clogged your sister last night.
That's what he says. His sister jokes. We're gonna send that to Cooge.
Nobody like Cooge, man.
I love him. He's great.
The tracksuit. Oh god, dude. He looks like he belongs in like a 70s like rock label music movie or some shit.
I can see that.
Get the fucking deal. Get the fuck out of here.
We gotta have another day with like him.
Dude, we gotta do it.
Yeah, I've been
Nicky
waiting
Cass, the Scalata Boys, Sala Voice, and us. Just go crazy.
Dude, we made 3 videos and it was
they all went bananas.
No writing process. It was
I think we did more than 3 though.
3, regardless.
Maybe you posted 3.
Yeah, I think I did.
Maybe you posted 3. They
didn't take any.
We did like 10 videos that night.
It was like natural, and the best part, I took a video of the table, and that went bananas.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
We didn't even know you were filming. We were just shooting the shit.
Oh man, all right, we definitely gotta get back together.
Maybe I think I was doing a video like of Koosh like, this is a DC, get the fuck out of here. And it went crazy, like 1 million on my TikTok.
Yeah,
and I had like
crazy.
100 followers.
It's the power of just like
good
him
energy.
being a character.
Yeah.
Like, it was just cool.
The vibes, collaborations.
Say, you know, it's gonna be funny.
What about this right here? You were telling me, what's the obsession with Poland Spring?
Everybody's Poland Spring.
It's like the standard in America. Like if you go into New York, if you go get a bottle of water, it's Poland Spring.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wait, what is it by
if
you?
you're getting smart water,
You
you're
don't know.
spending
I
money.
walk into someone's garage at a party. I'm going into the cooler, the water cooler,
Natural
at a
Springs?
graduation party or something. It could be Dasani, Aquafina, Ice Mountain. It could be a Walgreens brand. It could be the generic grocery. There's no loyalty.
No judgment? No judgment either?
No.
Like,
It's
if I
water.
see, like, Nestle water,
Yeah, I'm
all
like,
right.
this is
No.
disrespectful.
Dude, that is so.
Bro, if I go to a
It doesn't make
barbecue
any
and
sense.
you don't have Poland Spring at the minimum,
Red flag.
it's disrespectful.
It's
Red flag.
water. It's water. So is it just good marketing by Poland Spring? Or are you guys actually like, what are we doing serving Poland Spring in New York?
Yo, it's just the standard.
Yeah,
Like, I
man,
feel like
he's right.
for and
Really?
honestly, the Poland Spring water has been $1 for a very long time.
Like if you go into a deli and get a sandwich, excuse me, a hero,
There you go.
it's got to be, you get Poland Spring. You expect Poland Spring in
Well,
the fridge.
by the minimum, you have to have Poland Spring. But then, let's say if you brought a case of Aquafina Smart Water, Rigatoni might be like, "What did you hit the lotto?" You know?
Yeah.
Right?
Fiji? What is this? I mean, the
Since you've been
Mott's,
here,
Moots.
have you missed the Italian beef?
Yeah, man.
Yeah?
Italian beef.
Dude.
What is that?
You don't know what Italian beef is?
I've never heard of Italian beef.
Italian
It's like a
beef.
bootleg cheesesteak kind of, right?
It's like thinly sliced roast beef dipped in au jus, like juice,
Juicy?
garlic,
Gravy.
oil, gravy,
Only gravy.
syrup, yeah.
Okay.
And with French bread,
Peppers and onions?
hot peppers. We call it jardinera. You guys have jardinera here?
Nah.
It's
It's like the celery, carrots in the jar.
Oh, okay, okay.
Giardiniera.
You can get cheese if you want. You know, it's not a standard.
Provolone usually.
Mutz or provolone.
Mutz.
Yeah.
Mozz.
So it sounds like a cheesesteak without the cheese and
It's
more
thinner,
juice.
though.
Bro,
It's
but I'll tell you
lighter.
one
It's a
thing.
lot
If
lighter.
they ask you wet or dry, just say dry.
There's dry, dipped, and baptized.
Yeah, there
Are
you
the
go.
three like.
He knows.
So dry is no au jus. Dipped is each.
But that's
end.
maybe a little bit of the steak, right?
Well, yeah. When it comes, when you put the roast beef in there, you're definitely going to get something in there. Like you can't take au jus off the beef, but yeah, you can get both of them. So
What about the hot dogs? You missed them?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, respectfully, because I learned that when I was in Chicago that hot dogs is very serious. You put onions, you put tomatoes.
relish.
You never put ketchup for some
no
reason.
ketchup, mustard only.
What happens if I
Wow.
would go to hot dog and say, I want a hot dog with ketchup?
No ketchup?
Most places won't bat an eye. There is a place called Gene and Jude's. They've won like best hot dog in the country a couple of times. They don't even offer ketchup. And there's a McDonald's across the street that people like tourists will want ketchup with fries or put it on their hot dog, and they'll go across the street to McDonald's
And they
and
charge
just
for
try to
ketchup?
get free ketchup packets. And McDonald's has since started charging like 50 cents for
Nice,
ketchup
brother.
packets.
Smart.
Because everyone goes across the street. So I don't really know why it's no ketchup. People will get it with their fries, but on the hot dog, there's no ketchup. So
You guys
I
call
don't get it a
glizzy?
lot.
Do you ever hear glizzy in Chicago? Because if you were to just start eating a hot dog in New York,
Yeah, but we just started saying that,
If
in
you-
fairness.
yeah, but like now, I swear to God, I would be like embarrassed to eat a hot dog in public.
Oh,
People would just be
yeah.
like, "Hey, yo."
Like if you guys get a slice and you're walking through the city, like we'll get a hot dog and walk around the city. Like, it's
Nah,
just
I
like,
would
Yo,
never. I
walking
would
around
never.
with a glizzy is disrespectful.
Also,
It's like,
I don't know who the hell eats it like that. I mean, Wrigley Field, you get a hot dog. You go to a game, you get a hot dog.
at a ballpark, I have a hot dog.
Yeah.
But I don't think anywhere else, to be
you're
honest.
also gonna get beat over the head. $6-7 for a hot dog.
So, nobody.
It tastes better, though.
You won't get a hot dog on the street here.
Nah, it's
That's
just
disgusting.
sanitary.
So you can't buy a hot dog in New York that's not on a cart on the street.
We could go. There's
I mean,
Nathan's.
there's
There's
Nathan's
Nathan's
and
and stuff
Coney
like
Oh,
that.
that's right, Coney Island.
But there's not a lot.
No, hot dogs are
Only a bowl
pretty
game.
popular.
Yeah,
Wanna see
that's what I was
Yankees, the
saying.
Mets?
Yeah, only the ball game.
But you're gonna get beat over the head.
Yeah.
The only time I eat hot dogs is like a barbecue.
How much is it? How much is like a hot dog at Wrigley?
I've never been to Wrigley.
$7-8, I think.
Oh, so it's like that. I was just curious if Citi
Yeah.
Field or Yankee Stadium overcharged, but I guess they all do.
Well, I want to ask you, how did you learn how to speak Italian? Because you do that character, the Rye
Yeah, the
announcer,
Rye
and
guy.
the Italian's pretty good.
No one in my family speaks it. My grandfather's one of the only immigrants. I would just hear him like talk to my relatives back home on Sundays, and I was like, I want to learn Italian. So I took it in high school, took it in college, did a semester abroad, did like a full immersion
What was her name?
program thing.
Abroad.
It's like
How many broads did you study?
Sorry, I saw the opportunity.
Nah, it still catches people.
No, but
off
bro,
guard.
you speak really good Italian. Now,
you do, and you understand a lot too.
do you like
Appreciate it.
prep yourself up? Like, okay, this is what I'm gonna say. Like, write it down. Maybe
You
Hype yourself
can't.
up?
You can't.
No?
The only way to learn is by just going to go, like embarrassing yourself.
Yeah.
An Italian will respect an American more for trying than they will for someone who doesn't even know how to speak it. So if they might give you a smiling reaction, like, you know, like, oh, they'll correct you, but at the end of the day, they respect an American who's trying to speak another.
Do you ever get the "you're not even Italian" thing? Because we get it a lot.
Online for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like
Does it
I'll do
bother
like
you?
skits, like one of them, Italian playing poker versus an American playing poker. And one of the comments was like, "Yeah,
I love that. That one was great. I love when he got the aces.
yeah," the wheezing laugh. Yeah, like you can't hide our emotions. That's the joke. You know what I mean? But like one of the comments was like, "How dare you, categorize native Italians like this? It's Italian Americans that react like this and not Italians." And there's always that stuff online.
I mean, like, guy, did you ever see my dad get queen on a pre-flop? Like, what are we talking about here?
It is what it is, man.
So
used to that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's definitely some old school, super old school, native, traditional Italian families that maybe can't stand any stereotype, but it's comedy. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like, we're all just
Especially what you're doing. It's literally comedy.
Yeah, you got to make a light of something. So, but yeah, man, I love speaking Italian. It's a beautiful language. I'm not fluent by any means, but
No, you're trying.
You can hold a convo for sure.
You speak when you do that
language.
character. I feel like you speak better than me. When you do that, I'm like,
well, I
holy shit,
also
does he speak better than me?
I'm not going to act like it's all improvised. Like, in order to get everything in a minute, like if I'm doing Italian current events, like I got to read the story in a minute, so I'll write it out and not memorize it, but like
have a generic idea
I'll read it a couple times just so I know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
where a minute is.
Yeah, but I'm not fluent like you are or your father.
I speak dialect. Rocco speaks better than me for sure. My cousin is out there too, but me, it's mostly dialect.
It's the best language, man.
It really
It's
is.
easy. Every word ends in a vowel. Everything rolls off the tongue.
Another thing that kind of concerned me, I mean, before we started doing the fun stuff, was you got a sandwich by me before. You're like, that rapini looks really good.
What? The what?
Rapini. Bro, he calls broccoli rabe rapini.
Rapini. It's rapini back home.
Is that a Chicago thing? And is that why people always comment on our
Broccoli
page?
Rob is a New York thing. It's got to be.
No
rapini,
way.
nah, I mean,
I gotta fact check this too now.
listen, the Italians call it rapini, though.
Like if I go to an Italian restaurant in Chicago, like a common dish is orecchiette, sausage, and rapini.
And broccoli rabe.
It's rapini.
It's broccoli rabe.
Here it's broccoli rabe.
I feel like
But,
our family might say broccoli rabe.
And not only that, but like broccoli rabe is like I feel like on every other menu item here. You guys add it to a lot of more stuff.
Broccoli rabe?
So more versatile.
Yeah,
Really
well, you know what it
popular.
is. The owners just want to whack you over the head. Like, all right, boom, $4 more.
Is
How you
it
doing?
expensive? Is it?
Yeah,
Is
you know what
it's
it
a
is with
high-end,
broccoli rabe too, is the price fluctuates, bro. It'll be like $25 for a case. Next week, $45.
Really?
So
But you would know with the deli. I gotta imagine.
Well, a lot of places, if you notice, sometimes you'll see it for catering. Like if you order broccoli rabe, rapini, it'll say pending market.
wow.
Like fish.
Yeah, it's like fish.
Crazy.
Exactly.
That's funny to me. I mean, it's rapini and everything back home, but it's on more stuff here, so there's more pride over it. But it's
Yeah.
just rapini to me. I didn't know what it was. I was like, "What makes broccoli rabe broccoli rabe?" I looked it up. I was like, "Oh, it's rapini." I don't know.
That's
Another
funny.
regional thing. It's like this.
It's funny when someone doesn't even know what broccoli rabe
I was
is.
like, "What the hell's broccoli
Like,
rabe?"
what the hell's a broccoli rabe? Is being a creative guy, you know, if you guys got this far, don't follow Nicky. I suggest you do. But you do a lot of impressions. You know, basically you could do anybody when you set your mind to it. Pause.
I don't know about that.
What do you think, like, how do you like get in a situation, you're like, let me write that down? You know, like, let's say
With-
we're
oh,
talking
with
about
with
we're
material?
talking about broccoli rabe right now. Like, are you gonna go home and do a video about broccoli rabe? Like, how do your like ideas come about?
I think like Man of Scout, Sebastian's probably my biggest influence with comedy, and I'm not a joke writer. I don't think I'm smart enough to be one. Like Sebastian, he just tells stories about his family and about like personal things.
His things are more like how he's very neurotic and
Yeah,
a lot of things bother him.
Personal.
People,
He's not writing jokes like an Anthony Jeselnik or So it's inspiring because I feel like I had the same kind of material and stories growing up. So I just try to tell stories and just make them relatable. I know it sounds very basic, but what's an example? Driving the caddy around, like Jeep people that have Wranglers. Like there's a T-shirt. The Jeep wave. You buy it at
Yeah.
Target, the 3-finger thing at the Wrangler. Like, I'll say Jeep people will say 3 fingers up, like the Cadillac wave. There's no T-shirt at Target because it doesn't fit on the shirt. It's a 5-minute convo with a red light about, is it your grandmother's or is it your mother's?
Yeah, it's true.
Because that's actually what happened.
That's
and
you. That's you and Sal the Voice right there.
It descends Italians too. Like I've had conversations with all the walks of life.
Well, listen,
what year is a caddy, bro? I used to have a 97. That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
I had a 98. Was that your grandma's? Meanwhile, the light's been green for 2 minutes, and there's a line behind us.
She's beautiful.
People,
She's beautiful.
So,
well, you're a stand-up comedian. Do you want to give the followers a little taste with Nicky Smigs in your city? What you could expect?
yeah.
Put him right on the spot.
No,
I'm curious now.
Give us a little something you might see.
I try to tie like impressions into like my material. So like I talk about being Italian, how we always argue at the dinner table, but at the end of the day, I love being Italian. I'll even go into like politicians talking about Italians. Like there's 20 million of us here. I try to like the current event stuff with the impressions and being Italian. I just try to tie it all in. But yeah, man, it's fun.
So listen, if you guys don't follow Nicky by now, make sure to follow him TikTok, Instagram,
Appreciate it, man.
all those other good stuff. It's favorite part of the show now.
Let's get it, baby.
We're gonna put you on the spot right now.
Hydrate a little bit. Hydrate a little bit.
No, it's cold. My lips are chapped.
I mean, not for nothing. A guy from the Windy City. I've never seen
Dude,
somebody.
I left.
Cold.
I normally have chapstick in the car. I don't know where the hell it was. It's January. It's dry. But are you guys not freezing right now?
It's cold.
I'm fine.
It's
I'm
16
never
degrees today, but Rocco's hot. He had
I
the
am
window
freezing.
up.
I'm
Window's fully open. I'll close it later.
My
You'll
skin's
be all right.
so dry.
You'll
I
be
got
all right.
cuts from opening
We treat our
wine
guests
bottles.
nicely here.
No
expect a little
Carmex
better
at the
from
door.
somebody.
We have Poland Spring, all right?
Here we go,
God
Nicky.
forbid it's Nestle over here.
Yeah, I know. Overrated, underrated, or perfectly rated?
Let's do it.
Chicago deep dish pizza.
Overrated.
Ooh,
Wow,
I
from the
like
native.
it. I
From
like
the native.
I like it, but like what it's hyped up to be by everybody else outside Chicago is not how Chicagoans look at it. Like when we get pizza, it's not like, are we getting deep dish or are we getting thin crust? So are we getting pizza? Let's go get thin crust. Like the conversation will start as let's do deep dish tonight. No one else looks at it like Chicagoans do. It's just not that. I get it like 3 times a year.
Gotcha.
yeah, it's like
So it's not like the hype from like
It's
New
like
Yorkers
when
like,
you're
oh,
with your
man, your
Metagon
deep
friends?
dish sucks. It's like you're putting it on this pedestal that we don't have it as Chicagoans, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So
from the outside. New
overrated.
Yorkers
Hype
think
it
you
up.
guys worship it though.
yeah, that's why I think it's overrated, because what you're expecting when you come is just a big fat piece of casserole. And I like it when I have it, but
Literally.
it's overrated.
All right. Next up. Homemade meatballs.
Homemade, perfectly rated.
Small man.
What about like meatballs at your local pizzeria?
Overrated.
Ooh, I had a feel like there's a reason you said it like
Bro,
that.
I never even had meatballs outside my house,
Like
though, I'll be
it's,
honest.
I don't like ground beef.
Somebody else's,
Somebody's
Once you
finger
have it at
blasting your
home, I
meat.
know this sound. Jesus. Once you have it at home a certain way,
You're
it's
used to
just
it like
you can
that.
say that for everything, but I think it's.
But if you notice, if you ask 100 people how they make meatballs, you get 100 different answers.
Yeah.
Who says I put 30, 30, 34, like,
Yeah.
And then I put a little ketchup. People put breadcrumbs. Some
But
people put milk.
I'll tell you what. There's no better meatball than a meatball that's fried.
Yeah, fried meatball.
Cap or fact. Or fact or
I don't know
cap,
if I've
rather.
ever had a fried meatball.
No?
Where do you come from?
have
Chicago or outer space, cuz?
Where they just drop it in the sauce? Or they bake them?
I got it. I don't know if I've ever had a fried meatball.
We're going to change this kid's life.
When you have pasta,
wonder he's so thin.
Dude,
Look at him.
crumbled,
Yeah.
thin. Crumbled sausage is so much better than ground beef in pasta. I don't know what it is. If it's a texture thing, but I never get
Because it's
meatballs.
pork, bro. Pork is
Yeah.
so
It's
fattening and
fattier,
delicious.
but ground
Yeah.
beef's not.
I mean, pork is, it's something about fried pork. Like, think of bacon, think of all that. Like, that's, sausage and peppers.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah,
Broccoli Rob.
overrated. I love broccoli, Rob.
All right, but if you ask him Rapini, he might give you a different answer.
True.
So Rapini?
I underrated. Underrated
This
because
kid's a psycho.
it should be like New Yorkers put it with so much more stuff. I wish it was like that way in Chicago. Like there might be one dish of orecchiette, sausage, and rapini on a menu. You're not going to find rapini on everything. Here, it's like the aperitivos have broccoli rabe.
It's like and
pasta's got broccoli rabe. The pizza's got broccoli rabe. But you guys hype it up to, I'm just like, it's rapini. But I love it. It's
Bro, that's why they call it rapini, because they don't get it often. They only get it with orecchiette.
I want to know. It's not as popular. So that's why I think it's overrated. But I still love it on everything.
All right.
One more. Overrated, underrated, perfectly rated. Chicago, Little Italy. Taylor Street.
Overrated.
Wow.
Honestly, though, I've been there. There's nothing there.
There is not, compared to like Boston and New York. Like it's not about the size. It's not about the food quality. There's when you walk down Mulberry Street, like I feel like I get like flashbacks of walking around like my grandfather's hometown, because there's the people greet you on the street. They're more intimate.
I mean, they're trying to take your money.
The streets are smaller. Yeah, it's funny how similar.
They're like volare, come eat. But that goes right into the next part. Mulberry Street, Little Italy. New York's Little Italy.
I loved it, man. You asked me over under.
Yeah.
I as a Chicagoan, I'd say underrated, because I don't. Taylor Street is just like Al's Beef is on Taylor Street. That's like a huge Chicago Italian beef stand. Like, you guys don't have chain restaurants on Mulberry Street, do you?
Yeah, there's. I mean,
only New York ones though.
Maybe isn't there like a McDonald's?
Well, I guess
McDonald's.
Al's in Chicago.
I mean,
too.
bro, Little Mulberry's only like 2 blocks now. It used to be more.
But
that's everywhere.
What makes Mulberry Street like native Italian to me, what felt like Italy, was like there's somebody outside on the street pacing with their hands behind their back, like trying to gauge, welcome, my friend, come in and sit down. He's like, there's no one walking around like Little Italy on Taylor Street. It just doesn't feel as authentic, but great food on Taylor Street.
Boston's North End.
I think it's underrated.
Super underrated.
I love it.
Have you ever been around?
No, but I heard it's like the best Little Italy in the United States.
Awesome. It's awesome. It's not just Italians living there. I mean, kids like our age live there.
But there's there's like 200 businesses there. There's like, you feel the Italians there.
Yeah.
They live there too, some of them.
Tight streets, you know, the alleys and stuff.
The all small still, like 3 stories, you know, not bigger than that. Anything else you want to tell the people before we go?
Any shows coming up, Nicky?
I'll be in Chicago January 28th for a charity event.
Okay. Nice.
And
you driving out there?
I'll probably fly.
Okay, thank God. For our sake.
Caddy can only take so much in this weather.
You are literally
take it easy. Yeah, I know. It's got to take it easy though. Eventually, it's
like I got it with 60,000. Now it's 600,000.
I know. It's like I think it's up to like $120 right now. In 6 years, I put 60 on.
What are some like future goals in the next 5 years that, you know, we'll look back at this and laugh and say, remember when you said this on the pod?
I would love to take like acting classes, get into acting, be like a working stand-up comedian, I think, because I've been doing online videos for a while, and stand-up's like 9-10 months I'm into it. So if I can get good at stand-up, that'd be awesome.
I see you doing that.
Yeah, man. So this stuff's the best though. Like having all these
opening up for Sebastian sometime.
Oh yeah, that's without a doubt. It's like a long-term goal. That would be a dream come true. I mean, the guy's like my
2 Chicago natives.
Motivation. Yes, I grew up 5 minutes from him, same hometown, everything. So
Sebastian's your dad. He's your comedy dad.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
All right, guys. Make sure to check out Nicky Smigs.
Thanks for having me, boys. Appreciate it.